Hey team, Normal Guy of the North here, and thank you for joining me today. We're continuing our strategic review series, and this time we're diving directly into one of the most emotionally charged topics in the World of Warships ecosystem. Today, we're analyzing the top 5 most hated cruisers in the entire game, the ships that trigger frustration, disrupt team cohesion, and introduce disproportionate pressure the moment they appear on the team roster. Let's take a forward-looking approach and walk through this together. Our objective today isn't to evaluate raw damage charts or theoretical metrics. Our objective is to assess player sentiment, operational stress, and match experience disruption. To maintain alignment with our content strategy, we're applying 3 key evaluation metrics. Metric 1, Tactical Oppressiveness. How much operational friction does the cruiser impose on BBs, DDs, and other cruisers? Metric 2, Counterplay Availability. How many meaningful, repeatable tools does the opposing team have to respond? Metric 3, Emotional Impact. When this ship loads into the match, does the player base collectively exhale in disappointment? With those parameters in place, let's move into the rankings, counting down from number 5 to the most hated cruiser in the entire game. Number 5, Moines, the Radar Island Emperor. Let's begin the ranking with Moines, a cruiser that has defined cap control and island play for years. It's not the strongest, flashiest, or most innovative cruiser in World of Warships, but it remains one of the most consistently frustrating ships to face because of how well it performs within its niche. Moines is not unpredictable. There are no surprises. The frustration comes from the reliability of its tools and how effectively it punishes destroyers and battleships that attempt to contest key map positions. Let's examine why Moines earns the number 5 position on today's list. Moines Pain Point 1. Long-duration radar. Destroyer players know this pain all too well. Moines has one of the longest radar durations in the game, and once activated, it completely denies a DD's ability to operate safely within a capture zone. A destroyer caught in this radar loses massive health within seconds. A destroyer attempting to contest a cap against a hidden Moines is often neutralized before the 5-minute mark. This creates immediate operational stress for the entire team. When your DDs lose half their health at the start of the match, the entire strategic landscape shifts. Moines Pain Point 2. High explosive throughput. Moines benefits from a highly efficient reload cycle that delivers a constant stream of high explosive shells. Against BBs, it becomes a fire-starting machine capable of continuous fire pressure, sustained chip damage, forcing damage control usage at awkward moments, punishing stationary or slow-turning targets. This is not burst damage. This is long-term operational attrition. It wears players down mentally as much as it does physically in-game. Moines Pain Point 3. Predictable but unavoidable. Everyone knows what a Moines is going to do. Everyone knows the islands it prefers. Everyone knows the angles it wants. Everyone knows the caps it controls. And yet, preventing it from executing that exact game plan is incredibly difficult. Moines becomes an obstacle that must be addressed with resources, teamwork, or brute force, none of which are easy to coordinate in random battles. This dependable level of frustration earns Moines its position as number 5. Number 4, Minotaur, the smoke ghost or the radar assassin. Minotaur secures the number 4 position because it presents 2 entirely different threat profiles depending on the build, and each version impacts the flow of battle in its own uniquely frustrating way. Players are essentially dealing with 2 cruisers in one hull, and both versions generate consistent operational pressure. Minotaur does not rely on gimmicks. It relies on raw tempo, concealment, and precision positioning. When employed correctly, it becomes one of the most oppressive support cruisers in the game. Let's break down why. Version 1, the Smoke Minotaur. The Smoke Minotaur functions as a sustained damage platform with extremely high output. It leverages a rapid reload cycle, a compact, hard-to-hit profile, strong concealment, dual-side torpedoes, consistent high explosive and armor-piercing pressure. From inside smoke, Minotaur becomes a prolonged threat that BBs struggle to counter. Its rate of fire and concealment create a sense of continuous pressure that wears down morale and limits forward momentum. Late-game smoke Minotaur is especially dangerous. It takes advantage of weakened enemy positions and reduced vision control, allowing it to clean up weakened targets efficiently. Version 2, the Radar Minotaur. On the other end of the spectrum, Radar Minotaur is one of the most dangerous ships that destroyers can encounter. The sequence is always the same. Radar activates. The DD is exposed. The reload cycle eliminates the DD almost instantly. The Minotaur's fire rate and shell behavior make escaping extremely difficult. When a DD gets lit by this ship, the window to disengage is very small. This version shapes cap control, early game tempo, and the overall ability for enemy DDs to operate safely. Minotaur pain point. Fragile on paper, not in practice. Although Minotaur is technically fragile, this theoretical weakness rarely translates into practical vulnerability. Skilled captains position Minotaur so effectively that it only takes damage when it chooses to. It uses terrain manipulation, timing windows, concealment, angles, quick repositioning to avoid incoming fire. This mismatch between theoretical fragility and practical survivability earns Minotaur the number 4 position. Number 3, San Martín, the hybrid hammer. San Martín enters the ranking as one of the most conceptually disruptive cruisers in World of Warships. It blends traditional cruiser gunnery with carrier-style strike mechanics, introducing a modern threat profile that many players find overwhelming. This ship doesn't merely fire shells, it engages you vertically, horizontally, and strategically, creating a multi-layered challenge that shapes the entire flow of battle. San Martín Pain Point 1, Vertical Pressure. Players are already accustomed to dealing with shells and torpedoes. Many are also dealing with carrier spotting, submarine pings, and Dutch-style airstrikes. San Martín adds another airborne pressure point into the mix. Its long-range airstrikes threaten BBs behind islands, cruisers holding crossfires, ships attempting to anchor defensively, players maintaining correct positions. This vertical threat raises the cognitive load for players who are already juggling multiple forms of incoming damage. San Martín Pain Point 2, Damage without exposure. San Martín is highly effective at delivering damage from positions where it cannot be punished. This design creates a feeling of one-sided engagement. When it sits behind an island or maintains long range, it can pressure BBs west, interrupt cap attempts, break defensive lines, punish predictable positions, deal damage without taking return fire. This asymmetry is the primary source of frustration expressed in player communities. San Martín Pain Point 3 punishes proper fundamentals. Perhaps the most controversial trait is how San Martín punishes players who are doing the right thing. Players who anchor a flank, use island cover fray, hold ideal angles, stay with their team, position correctly, can still be punished by long-range air-delivered damage. The ship disrupts foundational naval gameplay, and that is why San Martín firmly occupies the number 3 position. Number 2, Napoli, the Indestructible Brawler. Napoli is one of the most respected cruisers in the game, but also one of the most hated to fight. It combines durability, mobility, concealment, and close-range lethality in a way that feels overwhelming to many opponents. Napoli is a cruiser with the defensive profile of a BB and the maneuverability of a medium cruiser, and its brawling package elevates that combination into a serious threat. Napoli Pain Point 1, Extreme Durability. Napoli's durability routinely surprises players. Its armor scheme features reinforced plating, strong angling potential, low citadel exposure, notable protection against high explosive, resistance against cruiser caliber fire. Many players unload full salvos into Napoli only to see minimal impact. This creates a perception of invulnerability that contributes significantly to its reputation. Napoli Pain Point 2, Exhaust Smoke YOLO Capability. The exhaust smoke consumable amplifies Napoli's close-range threat. It allows Napoli to close distance safely, rush isolated cruisers, pressure BBs in brawling zones. I shred DDs with SAP secondaries made it. Initiate fights on its own terms. This makes Napoli one of the most dangerous mid to close range cruisers on the map. Its ability to give itself a safe approach window creates high frustration in random battles where coordinated responses are rare. Napoli Pain Point 3, Late Game Dominance. When Napoli reaches the late game with sufficient health, it becomes a decisive win condition. It can outtrade most remaining cruisers, bully DDs at close range, and push BBs out of key positions with a combination of SAP shells and tanking potential. This ability to dominate the final minutes of a match solidifies Napoli as the number 2 cruiser on the list. Number 1. Smolensk and Smolensk B, the Flamethrower that broke the game. There is no debate here. Smolensk remains the most hated cruiser in World of Warships. It defined an entire era of frustration and continues to represent the pinnacle of oppressive cruiser design. Players still remember their worst experiences fighting Smolensk, and that legacy continues to influence how the community views balance today. Smolensk Pain Point 1. 16 rapid-fire guns. Smolensk outputs damage constantly. Not in bursts, not in cycles, constantly. With 16 rapid-firing guns throwing high explosive at extreme rates, opponents experience non-stop fires, relentless chip damage, persistent module destruction, sustained spotting pressure, zero downtime in incoming fire health. This continuous pressure drains morale over time. Smolensk Pain Point 2. Smoke and stealth farming. Smolensk combines excellent concealment, strong acceleration, evasive movement, smoke firing capability to create a very difficult target to hit. Even when players manage to fire back, Smolensk often survives due to its evasive profile and the timing advantages created by smoke. Smolensk deals maximum pressure while exposing itself minimally. Smolensk Pain Point 3. Psychological impact. This is the real reason Smolensk sits at number 1. It doesn't just deal damage, it creates tilt. Players who see it on the enemy team immediately anticipate a difficult match. It has become a symbol of frustration, and that recognition persists long after its original release window. Smolensk is widely recognized as the most hated cruiser in the game, earning its place at the top of this ranking. When we step back and assess these cruisers as a collective group, one clear theme emerges. Each of them disrupts the match in a way that feels disproportionately impactful compared to their peers. Moines exerts oppressive control over islands and capture zones. Minotaur creates high-pressure engagements through either sustained fire or devastating radar traps. Martín introduces vertical strike capability that challenges traditional naval fundamentals. Napoli overpowers opponents with durability, mobility, and close-range dominance. And Smolensk, above all, remains the benchmark for continuous high-explosive pressure and long-term frustration. These ships don't simply perform well in the meta. They actively shape the emotional experience of the match, influencing player morale, team cohesion, and engagement flow. Whether you're a BB player, a DD player, or a cruiser specialist, each ship on this list brings a unique form of operational stress that defines why it is so widely disliked across the community. Standard outro. Thanks for watching. I do appreciate it, and please feel free to click on the videos on your screen for more World of Warships content. But as always, take care, stay safe, and I wish you all the best. See you in the next one, and bye for now.